Well, you know me. I try not to leave any stones unturned. Yes, this does have a Blu-ray, but it only got it like in Europe. You gotta import it, like with the Blu-ray for Caprica. As far as I can tell, though, it's the exact same as the DVD. So, the Winchesters, the last true Frawley in the supernatural verse to date. Um, I didn't really like the show that much, but I honestly think that has more to do with me just being tired of this franchise than anything else, because there was nothing, oh my god, bad about it. Like, individual storylines that they had going on there, John dealing with PTSD, Mary having family issues that I think were hinted at a little bit back in Supernatural season 5 and 6. The Cloud storyline, the cameos from the previous cast members, especially since Jensen was able to include some throwaway lines with Rowena, potentially trying to investigate Crowley, thank you, shows that he thinks that they did Mark Shepard dirty. All that was good stuff. The chemistry between the actors I thought was pretty good. Yeah, they act immature, but these people are in their mid or late 20s. You seriously don't think that they're going to act immature with their bit of independence? You know? It, especially with the lifestyle that they're under, the intense pressure of things like this. You seriously don't think they're going to act out in these ways? As somebody who has just exited that age bracket, I can guarantee you that's how tons of people in that age bracket would act, regardless of the fact that this show takes place in the 70s. The 70s is still an appropriate time to model itself off of, with people reaching adulthood, acting immature, and all that stuff. If you did it before the 50s, I think you'd have a problem, but yeah. It's not any different with the 70s, the technology is just different. That's it. Friends is still compatible with today's bit, it's just different technology. There you go. So really, I think my only real problem with it is just that I'm tired of this franchise, especially with the fact that it actually doesn't end in a cliffhanger. Everything is wrapped up. There isn't even a hook for any following seasons. So once I see the final picture of where they were going with this, it's a nice add-on to the franchise. It was unnecessary, but the way that they ended up doing it with Another Earth, although I would hope that there was some kind of disclaimer that Jensen put out there where he made it clear while the first couple episodes were airing, this takes place in an alternate Earth, although fans might have been able to figure that out, obviously, but, you know, it was a nice little bit. It didn't feel like that they were just shoving in people, other than maybe Bobby, but we all love Bobby. He's the one character that has appeared in every season besides Sam and Dean, even though Sam doesn't appear in here, but he's mentioned, which is nice. This did feel like something that Dean would try to do, but let's face it, even though he is meddling with things, he didn't meddle it that much, because that letter that he ends up giving to John, he even says to Bobby, that letter was meant for him. I just helped take care of it. So either he knew it was going to get lost and then he fixed it, or it would give it to him later and then it would cause him to not potentially meet Mary in this universe. I bet Dean was somehow able to figure that out, so... But you gotta remember, he did the nudging back in seasons 5 and 6. He was the one that recommended John get the Impala when he wasn't going to be doing that. He tries to warn Mary about the yellow-eyed demon multiple times, even though the mind wipes by, what's that ball guy's name from season 5? Well, you know who I'm talking about. And then whoever the heck did it in season 6. Yeah, that, all that just occurred, and yeah, but he's done this kind of stuff before, and then handing them the Cult and the Hunter's Journal. Well, they're both versed in hunting stuff already. He's giving them some pointers. They could have easily gotten it from somebody else, because it stands to reason that this universe has different versions of the other people. Yeah, and Yellow-Eyed Demon? That in theory could mean all kinds of people, because they definitely use that effect more than once, but... Right. But something tells me that if the Yellow Eyes / Azazel is around, he's going to be acting quite a bit differently. Somehow I get the feeling that if there is a chosen one, it's going to be a decent ways different here. And it's not because of what Dean has done. He hasn't done anything to really alter that. If it's altered, it was just altered by default. There has to be little changes, like how in some Victorious fanfiction that I read, instead of Johnny Depp being Jack Sparrow and Keanu Reeves being Neo, it's reversed. Right. Right. I don't know much else that I can really mention about this. So, had it not been cancelled, would it have could it have continued in a decent way? Probably, but I don't think you could have done as good of a job of making like different forms of an ongoing story like with the original one. I think it would have had to been a lot more of open the book, tell the story, close the book. And even then, with this streaming landscape and shows getting cancelled after like 3 seasons, it probably would have dried out after a couple seasons anyway. At least that's what I think. So, even if it hadn't happened the way that it did, probably would have happened down the line anyway. So, yeah, but this a bad show? No. Was it unnecessary? Yeah, but I'm good with this. Alright, that's that. See ya.